Have you ever felt that right in the middle of a conversation, there is an invisible abyss between what he says and what he is actually thinking? That moment when you ask, "What's wrong?" And the answer is a dry, sharp, "Nothing." But you know, your intuition is screaming at you that this nothing is loaded with everything. Welcome back to Psychological Curiosities. Today we are entering forbidden territory. We are going to decode the silence. Because male psychology is like an iceberg. What you see on the surface is barely a fraction of the emotional reality hiding underwater. Today, we aren't talking about cliches. We are talking about biology, evolution, and social conditioning. Today, you are going to discover the 7 secrets that men never confess to a woman, not even to the one they love the most. And I'm warning you, secret number 7 is the root of almost every couple's argument, yet almost no one detects it in time. Let's start stripping away the masks. The first secret is about fragility. There is a social myth that a man is a rock, an immovable pillar. But psychology tells us something fascinating about validation. The secret is this: men have a desperate need to be admired, but they are terrified to ask for it. Think about it for a second. Socially, women are praised frequently. Their clothes, their intelligence, their appearance. The average man can go years, literally years, without receiving a genuine compliment that isn't tied to his job performance. When a man does something for you, even if it's small, he isn't just looking for gratitude, he is looking for admiration. But he will never tell you that. Saying it would make him feel weak, and weakness is the ancestral enemy of biological masculinity. If you notice he becomes distant or irritable for no apparent reason, sometimes it's not a lack of love, it's a drought of validation. He feels invisible. But this leads us to a darker place, an insecurity that connects directly to the next point and explains why many men run from emotional commitment. And here we enter the second secret, the paralyzing fear of financial and professional irrelevance. Listen closely to this, because it is pure evolutionary psychology. For millennia, the male's value in the tribe was measured by his ability to provide. If you didn't bring home the mammoth, you were useless. We don't hunt mammoths today, but that programming is still dormant in the reptilian brain. A man can be deeply in love with you, but if he feels he is failing in his career or that he lacks a clear purpose, he will feel unworthy of your love. He will never tell you, "I feel like a failure, and that's why I don't want to go out tonight." He will tell you, "I'm tired," or "I have a lot of work." Men link their being with their doing. If he doesn't do, he feels he doesn't exist, and this is where many relationships break. The woman tries to solve the emotional problem, but the man has an existential problem. He feels that if he loses his status, he loses his right to be loved. It's sad, but it's real. And worst of all, this feeds a silent competition that we will see later. But first, let's talk about the third secret. This is crucial for understanding his moments of solitude. It's called the cave, but it's not what you think. When a man goes quiet and withdraws, whether it's to play video games, watch sports, or just stare at the ceiling, your brain might interpret this as disinterest. You might think, "He is pulling away from me." The secret is that this isolation has nothing to do with you. It is his reboot mechanism. Unlike the female brain, which tends to process stress by talking and connecting neural networks through verbal communication, which is fantastic, the male brain often needs to shut down the system to process a single emotion at a time. He isn't confessing this to you. "I am not pulling away because I don't love you. I'm pulling away because if I don't reboot my brain right now, I'm going to emotionally collapse." If you invade that cave too soon, he won't feel supported, he will feel invaded. And that sensation of invasion triggers an aggressive defense. But what happens when he comes out of the cave? Sometimes he comes out wearing a mask, the mask of the fourth secret. The fourth secret is one of the most painful: constant and brutal comparison. We live in the era of social media, but male competition is ancient. Men constantly compare themselves to other men. Is he taller? Does he make more money? Is he more respected? What he will never confess is that when he sees you admiring another man, whether it as an actor, a co-worker, or a friend, a primitive part of his brain goes into panic mode. He feels threatened. It's not necessarily romantic jealousy, it's status anxiety. He asks himself, am I enough for her? This question, am I enough, is the ghost that haunts the male mind from adolescence to old age. And the irony is, the more you assure him that you love him, if he hasn't resolved his own internal worth, the less he will believe you. This creates a cycle of self-sabotage that destroys many promising relationships. And speaking of self-sabotage, we arrive at the fifth secret. This is delicate. It has to do with intimacy, but not in the physical way you imagine. The secret is, he uses physical intimacy as an emotional language because he doesn't know how to speak the other one. Men are often accused of only wanting one thing. But psychology shows us that due to normative alexithymia, that socially imposed difficulty in identifying and expressing emotions with words, physical contact is, for many men, the only safe way to say, I need you, or I feel vulnerable, without having to use words that make them feel exposed. When he seeks that contact after a fight or a bad day, sometimes it isn't pure sexual desire. It is a search for comfort. It is his way of asking, are we still okay? Are you still here with me? Rejecting that contact hurts double because he doesn't interpret it as not right now, but as a rejection of his entire being. But be careful, because this leads us to the edge of the cliff. The last two secrets are what define if a relationship survives long-term or turns into an empty coexistence. The sixth secret, the fear of being an emotional burden. Since childhood, most men are taught that their emotions are problems they must solve alone. Boys don't cry. Be strong. This creates an adult who, when he feels fear, anxiety, or deep sadness, hides it under anger or indifference. He will never confess to you, I am scared of the future and I don't know what to do. Because in his mind, confessing fear is failing in his role as a protector. He would rather you think he is insensitive than think he is a coward. This armor is heavy, and sometimes the only way to help him take it off isn't by asking, but by creating a space where vulnerability is not judged. And now, we have reached the critical point. Secret number 7. I told you at the beginning that this is the root of almost everything. This secret explains why he sometimes tries to fix your problems instead of listening to you. The 7th secret is the fallen hero syndrome. Deep within the male psyche, there is an intrinsic desire to be your hero. He wants to be the one who makes you smile, who makes your life easier, who slays the dragon. When you tell him about a problem and he offers you quick solutions, it's not because he doesn't want to listen. It's because if he can't fix it, he feels useless. But here is the trap. And listen closely, because this shifts the perspective. When you are unhappy, or when you are going through a bad time that has nothing to do with him, he takes it personally. He feels he has failed in his mission to make you happy. What he will never confess is that your unhappiness destroys him inside, because he interprets your pain as his failure. He feels like a fallen hero, and a hero who cannot save his princess ends up becoming the villain of the story or simply abandons the tale. Understanding this is the master key. It's not about hiding your pain, but about letting him know that he isn't responsible for fixing everything, that his presence alone is sufficient. That releases an immense amount of pressure from his shoulders. The male mind is not an impossible enigma. It is a logical system protected by walls of fear and social conditioning. These 7 secrets are not for manipulation, they are for understanding. They are bridges. Now that you know what hides behind the silence, behind the cave, and behind the armor, you have an advantage. You can see through the mask. The next time you notice that abyss, remember, it's not a lack of love. It's an excess of fear of not being enough for you. Which of these secrets do you think affects relationships the most today? Have you noticed that desire to be the hero or that fear of irrelevance? Leave me your opinion in the comments. I read and reply to the most curious minds. And if you want to keep deciphering the labyrinths of the human mind, subscribe and hit the bell. Because in the next video, we're going to talk about something even deeper. The unconscious signals that give it away when someone is losing interest in you. And believe me, the body speaks before the mouth does. See you in the next psychological deep dive.